You wanted the inside scoop on the latest Call of Duty update.
Yeah.
We'll strap in because we're diving deep into this January 17th, 2025 community blog post.
All right.
And we've got some extra intel from a skeptical fan to unpack.
Cool.
This blog post is a beast.
Yeah.
It was like everyone on the dev team had something to say.
I was going to say it's pretty lengthy.
And our fans' response.
Yeah.
Short, sweet, and skeptical.
Makes sense.
They've clearly seen promises come and go.
Understandably so.
So let's cut through the PR fluff and figure out what really matters to you as a player.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with everyone's favorite topic.
Okay.
Cheaters.
Oh, boy.
Our skeptical fan is tired of hearing about Ricochet anti-cheat.
Yeah.
And honestly, I get it.
The community's been burned before.
Yeah.
So that skepticism is completely understandable.
So what's different this time?
Right.
The developers are highlighting a multi-layered approach. They're boasting over 136,000 ranked play bans.
Wow.
Which is a start.
Yeah.
But the real meat is in their new tools.
Okay.
They're talking about faster cheat detection, enhanced cross-examination to identify cheaters quickly,
Got it.
and even a system to detect and deal with spam reporting.
Really?
Apparently, some cheaters were weaponizing that to target other players.
That's
Wild.
That's a devious tactic, exploiting the system itself.
Right.
It speaks to the creativity of some cheaters, but thankfully the developers are catching on.
Yeah.
They're also targeting players who consistently party up with cheaters.
Interesting.
The logic there is if you're always rolling with someone who gets banned,
Right.
maybe you're not so innocent yourself.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But here's the biggest change.
Okay.
A kernel-level driver update coming in Season 02.
All right.
Now, I know that sounds technical,
Yeah.
but basically,
Right.
it gives the anti-cheat software deeper access to your computer
Interesting.
to sniff out those sneaky cheats hiding in the system.
It's like giving the anti-cheat team a super-powered magnifying glass.
So I like that.
It lets them see things they couldn't before, even those deep-level cheats designed to be invisible.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
Okay.
they're teasing a brand new system in Season 03 to authenticate players.
Yeah.
What exactly that means is still a mystery,
Right.
but it sounds like they're getting serious about verifying player identities and making it harder for banned players to just pop up with a new account.
Right, because IP banning isn't really a solution, is it?
Right.
The developers address that directly in the post,
Good.
saying it can punish innocent players who share an IP address, like folks in a dorm or at an internet cafe.
Makes sense.
They even call out some cheat developers who lie about being IP banned as a marketing tactic.
Seriously?
Talk about shady.
It's interesting that they specifically address that misinformation. It shows they're aware of the narratives being spun out there
Right.
and are actively trying to combat them with transparency.
Okay, moving on from the underbelly of cheating,
All right.
let's talk about another pain point,
Okay.
server issues. The blog post acknowledges those annoying rubber banding moments,
Yeah.
packet loss,
Mm.
and those rage-inducing disconnects,
Oh, yeah.
especially in ranked play.
The worst.
They point to lobby crashing and suspicious accounts as part of the problem.
Interesting.
And they've got Demonware,
Okay.
their server infrastructure team, on the case.
What's intriguing is the question of motive behind those lobby crashes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is it simply disruption?
Yeah.
Or is there something more at play?
Mm.
Are these attempts to manipulate rankings or even exploit vulnerabilities?
Ooh.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a mystery for now,
Right.
but hopefully Demonware cracks the case soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
On a positive note.
Oh.
They claim improvements to the server infrastructure are already showing positive results.
That's good to hear.
So fingers crossed for smoother gameplay in the near future. Sounds good.
Everything from trash talk to Black Ops 6 to quality of life improvements.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the update, there's one more thing from our skeptical fan I wanted to touch on.
Oh, okay.
They brought up concerns about trash talk in voice chat
Yeah.
and overzealous moderation.
Right.
It's a touchy subject, for sure.
Definitely.
Where do you draw the line between competitive banter and actual toxicity?
Yeah, it's a valid concern finding that balance between fostering a competitive environment
Right.
and ensuring it doesn't cross the line into harassment.
Exactly.
The developers seem to be aware of the challenge.
Okay.
The disruptive behavior team says they're constantly refining their systems to target genuine toxicity
Okay.
without silencing competitive trash talk.
Gotcha.
They've even promised a progress report later this year
Oh, wow.
with more data on their moderation efforts.
Transparency is key.
Yeah.
Seeing the numbers can really help build trust and show that the system is working as intended.
Absolutely. Data can speak volumes.
Yeah.
It allows the community to hold the developers accountable.
Right.
And ensures that the moderation efforts are actually effective and not just empty promises.
Okay, enough about toxicity. Let's talk about something more fun.
All right.
Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
The update includes a bunch of general quality of life improvements.
Like what?
A challenge tracker to help you stay on top of those grinds.
Oh, okay.
Separate HUD presets for multiplayer and zombies.
Nice.
And less bumping into your teammates in tight spaces.
Oh, good.
No more accidental team kills because you got too close to your buddy.
Those might seem like small tweaks.
Yeah.
But they can have a huge impact on the overall player experience.
Absolutely.
Reducing frustration and streamlining the interface lets players focus on the core gameplay.
Right.
It's about removing those little annoyances that can take you out of the experience.
Exactly. And speaking of gameplay, the multiplayer update brings weapon balancing, tweaks, to bullet penetration, and even smoother movement with a dexterity perk.
Cool.
They're also making calling card challenges easier.
Oh, nice.
Which is always a win in my book.
It's good to see them responding to community feedback.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to visibility issues in Kill Confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
That was a common complaint.
For sure.
They're even adding a visual indicator above enemies who have Warcry active.
Well, that's good.
So no more wondering why they're suddenly regenerating health so fast.
No more surprises there.
Yeah, that?
Now, in terms of playlists,
Yeah.
Gunfight is making a comeback.
Really?
Stakeout 24/7 is here to stay. And they're even planning a small maps mosh pit for those camo grinders out there. Plus a whole laundry list of bug fixes.
Oh, good.
They're squashing everything from that annoying gearhead issue to the messed up free-for-all scoreboard to the ninja exploit.
Wow.
It seems like they're really focused on polishing the experience this time around.
It's a welcome change of pace.
Yeah.
Instead of constantly chasing the next shiny new thing, they're taking the time to refine and solidify what's already there.
I like it.
Sometimes you need to reinforce the foundation before adding new floors to the building.
And speaking of foundations, let's talk ranked play.
Right.
Console players rejoice.
Yeah.
You can finally disable crossplay in Season 02.
This is a major concession to a very vocal part of the community.
Oh, right.
Many console players felt that crossplay put them at a disadvantage against PC players.
Right.
Due to things like frame rates and input methods.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the competitive scene.
Yeah.
Will it create a more balanced playing field for console players?
Right.
Or will it fragment the player base and lead to longer matchmaking times?
Good point.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But it's a big step towards addressing those concerns.
It's a bold move, but it shows they're willing to make significant changes to improve the competitive experience.
I agree.
And it's not the only change coming to ranked play.
No.
They're also adding a vote to forfeit feature for those hopelessly lopsided matches.
Yes.
And a rejoin functionality for when your internet decides to take a vacation mid-match.
No more rage quitting when you're down by 200 points.
Exactly.
And of course, new ranked rewards to grind for camos.
Oh.
A Jackal PDW blueprint.
Oh.
And a sweet decal.
Rewards are a great motivator, and these seem to strike a good balance between desirability and attainability.
All right, on to zombies.
Okay.
The new map, The Tomb, is dropping in Season 02.
All right.
And Treyarch is doubling down on their commitment to the mode.
Cool.
More content, more bug fixes.
Yeah.
And their motto.
What's that?
Putting player fun first.
I like the sound of that.
I like it too.
It's great to see that level of dedication to zombies.
Right.
It's a mode with a passionate community, and they deserve to feel heard and supported.
Absolutely. And on the quality of life front, they're adding a co-op pause feature for parties.
Well, it's nice.
And a loadout recovery system for players who get kicked for being AFK.
Nice.
No more losing your hard-earned gear just because your internet took a nap.
It's those little touches that really show they're paying attention to what players want.
Okay, last but not least.
All right.
Let's talk Warzone.
Okay.
Brace yourselves for a shift in focus.
Oh.
Less new content. More emphasis on tuning quality of life.
Okay.
And squashing those pesky bugs.
All right.
Clone it back to basics.
Interesting.
What do you think about this new direction?
It's a potentially controversial move.
Yeah.
But I think it's the right one.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to take a step back and refine the core experience before piling on more features.
I agree.
Warzone has become a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
And it's clear that some of the fundamentals need attention.
They're stressing that these improvements will be rolled out gradually throughout the season.
Okay.
It's not going to be an overnight transformation.
A staggered approach allows for more thorough testing
Yeah,
and prevents the introduction of new problems.
makes sense.
It's a more cautious and deliberate approach to development,
Right.
which I think is a good thing.
So what exactly are they tweaking?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, weapons are getting a lot of love.
Okay.
Faster reloads across the board.
Wow.
That's a huge EE change.
Yeah, that could be a game changer.
Right.
It could favor more aggressive play styles and really shake up the meta.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how players adapt.
Adjustments to jump shots to make them more viable, but not overpowered,
Okay.
and more consistent bullet penetration to avoid those frustrating moments where you feel like your shots should have connected.
Makes sense.
And it's not just weapons. They're also improving movement with increased jump speed and height,
Cool.
a faster parachute cut animation,
All right.
and smoother landings.
Nice.
They're even reducing reverb effects for more accurate directional sound cues.
These are all subtle but important changes that can make the game feel more responsive and immersive.
Right.
Movement and audio are two crucial aspects of any shooter,
Yeah.
and it's great to see them getting some attention.
Now let's talk perks.
Okay.
They're shaking things up by adding new default perks.
Really?
So everyone will automatically have the benefits of dexterity,
Okay.
the weapon component,
Right.
and faster reloads baked in from the start.
This simplifies perk selection and creates a more level playing field,
Yeah.
especially for newer players who might be overwhelmed by all the choices.
Exactly. The Mountaineer perk is making a comeback,
Oh, wow.
taking over dexterity's slot
Got it.
and getting a major buff to fall damage reduction.
That's sure to please a lot of players.
Yeah.
Mountaineer was a fan favorite, and its return with a buff could really change the way people approach vertical combat.
Absolutely. They're even buffing the Veteran perk,
Okay.
giving it better protection against gas grenades.
Buffing underused perks is a great way to encourage experimentation and create more diverse loadouts.
I agree. Now on to equipment and killstreaks.
All right.
The munition satchel is getting nerfed.
Okay.
Tactical and lethal limits are being reduced, and gas grenades are being toned down.
These are all necessary balance adjustments.
Yeah,
The munitions satchel in particular was becoming a bit too dominant,
I agree.
so this nerf should help level the playing field.
They're also making some quality of life tweaks to other equipment and killstreaks.
Like what?
The spy camera's outline will no longer render through walls, making it less frustrating to deal with.
Good.
And advanced UAVs will show elevation arrows,
Cool.
providing more useful information.
These are small but welcome changes that make the game fairer and more intuitive.
And then there's the mountain of miscellaneous fixes. Better buyback flare pings, more readable stat trackers,
Right.
and limitations on the body shield's functionality.
Got it.
It's all about those little details that add up to a more polished experience.
It shows a commitment to quality and a dedication to refining the game.
And finally, bug fixes galore.
All right, let's hear it.
Rebirth Island visibility issues, that weird revive animation glitch.
Yeah.
Map exploits parachute problems, weapon bugs, perk inconsistencies,
Man.
contract issues,
Yeah.
operator menu problems.
They thought of everything.
They're tackling it all.
This is what we like to see.
Right.
A dedicated effort to squash those annoying bugs that can really detract from the enjoyment of the game.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but there's one more huge EE topic we need to discuss.
Okay.
The future of ranked play and how cross-play is changing the game. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll break it all down. All right, back to ranked play. This update has something huge EE for console players. You'll finally have the option to disable crossplay in Season 02 for both Black Ops 6 and Warzone ranked.
It's a big change, and honestly, it's about time. Console players have been vocal about feeling at a disadvantage when matched against PC players.
Things like higher frame rates and the precision of a mouse and keyboard can make a real difference in a fast-paced shooter.
The developers are framing this as a move to improve gameplay experience and competitive integrity. It's a tricky balance. Crossplay expands the player pool and can reduce matchmaking times, but it can also lead to an uneven playing field.
By giving console players the option to opt out of crossplay, they're essentially creating a more controlled environment where everyone is competing on a similar level. Do you think it will lead to a more balanced experience for console players?
I think it has the potential to. It'll be interesting to see if it leads to longer queue times, though, especially for those who choose to stick with crossplay. It could end up fragmenting the player base.
That's a good point. It's a trade-off for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, At least now console players have the choice.
And it's not the only change coming to ranked play. They're also adding a vote to forfeit feature. No more slogging through a match when the outcome is already clear.
Hallelujah. I can't tell you how many times I've been stuck in a match where everyone just wants to move on. It's a huge time saver.
It prevents those frustrating situations where one team is completely dominating and the other team is just waiting for the inevitable. And later in the season, they're adding rejoin functionality. So if you get disconnected due to a wonky internet connection, you can jump back into the match.
No more getting penalized for something outside your control. It's a small change, but a significant one for competitive integrity.
And of course, no ranked play update would be complete without near shiny rewards. Camos for gold rank and above, a Jackal PDW blueprint for 10 wins, and a large decal for 100 wins. There's something to aim for at every level.
All right, so to recap, we've got console-only crossplay options, a vote-to-forfeit feature, rejoin functionality, and new rewards. It seems like they're really addressing the community's concerns and making ranked play a more enjoyable experience.
Absolutely. This update shows a commitment to refining the competitive experience and making it more balanced and accessible for everyone.
So that about wraps up our deep dive into this massive Call of Duty update. We covered a lot: anti-cheat advancements, weapon balancing, quality of life improvements, a new direction for Warzone, and some big changes to ranked play. What stands out to you the most from all of this?
Honestly, it's the overall shift in focus. They're not just throwing new content at us, they're taking the time to address the core issues, refine the gameplay, and make the experience smoother and more enjoyable for everyone.
It's like they're finally listening to what the community has been saying. And while some players might be disappointed by the lack of flashy new additions, I think this focus on the fundamentals is exactly what Call of Duty needs.
It's a sign of maturity, both for the game and the developers. They're recognizing that sometimes less is more, and ultimately a polished and balanced game is more enjoyable than one that's constantly chasing the next big thing.
Well said. But we want to hear from you. What do you think about this massive update? Are you excited about the changes to ranked play? Do you think they're focusing on the right things? Head over to our social media channels and let us know.
We always love to hear your thoughts and feedback. And remember, this is just a snapshot in time. The Call of Duty universe is constantly evolving. So stay tuned for more deep dives as new updates and developments unfold.
Until then, stay frosty out there.